Hey guys, Christian here. A lot of people have been asking me about how did I lose 40 pounds in 2 months, and I just want to talk a little bit about it. I said I accidentally lost, but I more accurately, I inadvertently lost 40 pounds. Everything's moving. So what I mean by that was I wasn't in it. I didn't go out to try to lose 40 pounds. It all happened around Easter. Usually around Easter. Is usually like my Super Bowl, and I usually fast from Good Friday to Easter Sunday. Usually do a 3 day, but I was experiencing kind of like a spiritual deficit where I just resigned. Didn't feel like doing anything. And some little time after Easter, it was kind of itching on my heart and on my mind that I wanted to fast. So I was thinking about doing one of those 3 day juice cleanses. So there's a press juicery down the street from where I live. So I went and did the 3 day cleanse for three reasons. One was the fasting. Another thing that happened is I got adult braces. These guys, and what they did is they put cement blockers. As you can see them, they're blue. And what it does is I can't I can't bite. So there's always this gap in my teeth, so I couldn't chew food. I'm a chef, and one of the things I love doing is obviously eating. And I couldn't do that, not enjoyably. And so it's the fasting, the braces, and the third reason was I was having tons of gastrointestinal problems. I would experience gastritis where your stomach gets just severely upset and a lot of things are messed up, and basically your stomach lining depletes, and it's almost like a precursor to sometimes will lead to ulcers. I was also experiencing heartburn quite often, and aside from that, I was also experiencing migraines from here and there. So I did one of those 3 day juice cleanses at Press Juicery. It's like $40 a day. So what I told myself is like I was going to do a 3 day juice cleanse, and if I felt better, I would continue doing it. I felt better, so I continued doing it. So I ended up doing the Press Juicery for about a week, and at $40 a day, you can do the math. It gets pretty expensive. I think you get a discount, so you might get 1 day free after, like, I forgot how many you buy. So if you spend I don't know what it is, 3 or 4 days. It's like $120. Then they give you a free juice. That got pricey, and then at that point, I decided I got one of my friends, Vernon, gave me a juicer like a bunch of years ago, so I started making my own juices. I wish I had a Press Juicery thing. I kept their so Press Juicery, they have like these like what's in it. So what I did is I kept the bottles and kind of shadowed kind of what they usually make. They usually have like a base, and then they add a bunch of different things to it. But what I was doing is I've noticed like my juices are completely green. Even if you shine a light on it, it's really green. The Press Juicery will tend to split. So these are super like chlorophyll and nutrient dense juices. I mean, what I usually do is make like I get like maybe 8, 9, 10 bunches of kale, and I juice those. I juice a little bit of celery, juice a lot of spinach, and that's what this is what I kind of get out of it as a green. But also with the other ones, like this is actually in the wrong bottle, but this one says roots. So I also make a bunch of different roots ones. So with my roots, like my beet one, this one is like I take like a 5-pound bag of carrots. I take a few beets. A few beets goes a long way. Turns everything red. Whatever you drink the juice red, it goes out red. And then there's also a citrus. So I added the citrus ones. It's usually a little bit of pineapple, citrus, and those are kind of like my fruit drinks. I was doing the juicing for let me see. So I did Press Juicery for about a week. Ended up doing my own juices for another 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I think. So with that, the thing is with the juices, a lot of people are always wondering, are you going to get hungry? At the amount, those are about 12-ounce juices, and the way it's set up, you get like 6 juices in a day, and you drink water between the 2 juices. So based on a 12-hour day, I'll wake up, I'll do an apple cider vinegar shot. So that usually goes. I usually fast like the first 2 hours, and then 2 hours in, when my hunger starts to build, I would drink a juice. Drink some water, drink another juice, 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 and then that's 6 of them that you go through. So I never found myself immensely or super hungry, which was a distinct experience from the last few times that I tried juicing. I tried juicing before, and I was just hungry immediately. I think the best. I don't like to give like advice. I could tell what worked for me, but so what worked for me was always taking account onto how I felt. One of the reasons why I wanted to fast was I wanted to experience that vitality that I had again, and I think that was my main goal was vitality in spirituality, vitality in the way I felt. And it was strange too. I was drinking coffee almost every single day, and I stopped. I think I had like 3 cups of coffee during the whole 40 days. It started off at 40 days, so I started at 3 days, and then in my head I thought Jesus fasted for 40 days, and that number was like kind of set in my mind and my heart, and but I was ready to listen to my body and say, I don't think I'm supposed to suffer like this, but by God's grace, I did not suffer. I was at points and times in some discomfort. Like I said, I'm a chef. I remember this third day in, we were going camping with my friend Wyatt over in Hilltop Church over in Joshua Tree, one of the BLM properties, the Bureau of Land Management, and we were cool. We just made this open fire pit, and Wyatt bought all these like really beautiful like ribeye steaks, and I remember cooking them, and just watching it over open fire. I think we were cooking over some charcoal and some mesquite, and you could just smell it and just watch it. You could watch my whole like Instagram feed at hellofresh.com, just smoking and just making a bunch of different foods and serving it to other people and drinking a juice. So I'm like serving a steak and drinking a juice. It's crazy because you literally start to salivate as you see food, but I just didn't eat the food. So I guess that was one thing that was unexpected was finding a certain amount of reserve in the fast. I realized if there's because there's something I want doesn't mean I have to pursue it. Which is I'm more of like an impulse guy, impulse buyer. I'm in my top 5 as far as like the strengths finders. It's like activator is one of my top 5 where I don't think I could just kind of go. So there's unexpected things that happened from the fasting was the amount of reserve that I got, the stillness that I was able to be comfortable with. It's crazy wanting something really bad and just not having to have it was something that came. But I don't know if I didn't lose that much weight on the first week, and then it just all started to fall off about the 3rd week to the 5th and 6th week. It just kind of kept going. So I've been doing that, and I stayed primarily vegan to the exception of the fact that I would have to taste food when I was working. So just to taste seasoning. The thing that happens also when you go vegan, no salt, and all these certain things that happen with juices, your palate starts to change. So I found a sense of sensitivity, extreme sensitivity to sugar. Things started to return. Cherry tomatoes tasted like candy. You could taste the sweetness in carrots. Candy bars and soda just they feel like they're attacking you. Like it's so crazy. So that's been one thing that's been good. As of now, I've actually switched over. Been doing a little bit of research. I was on this guy's YouTube channel, Dr. Darren Schmidt, and it just started off with ketosis versus like juicing. It came up in one of my crazy feeds, and I kept doing that. So I've been kind of seeking a key, like what do ketones do? I've seen the benefits of what vegan and juicing does, and I'm curious to see what ketones. So I think maybe my next video would be based um, on a ketonic diet. See if that happens. So, which is interesting because I'm starting to introduce animal products, and I don't know. I'm little bit balanced off that. So it's changed my eating habits since I went through this experience. Um, Not that I love an In and Out double double, but I don't have to have it. If that makes any sense. I totally support the business and what they do, but I know for me, um, I don't always have to have things. So it's been interesting. I've been introducing just intermittent fasting as well. So I usually stop eating like 7 o'clock at night, and I won't eat until about noon or 1 the next day. I've been kind of stretching that fast and trying to get all my nutrients in a short amount of time. Um, One thing though, I did make some adjustments. I knew earlier on when I was just doing just the juice, um, energy levels kind of dipped. So I started adding some sugar to my diet, just so I could complete workout. So about 3.5 4 weeks in, I started going to the gym as well, just doing some light things, doing some rowing, and a little bit of swimming. Um, and what I did is I took some of those. So I'd get my juices, and I would probably fill them up a little bit more, maybe more than about here with my juice, and then with this other like third left, I would use those Naked juices. I don't know if you're familiar with Naked. Naked, they make all these different like these green juices. They look all great and everything, but if you turn to the flip side and look at the nutritional facts, it's just loaded with sugar, which was such an interesting for me. I was always like consuming way too many calories, so putting myself in this position where I'm not drinking enough calories, based on the juice that they do, the Juice Cleanse Advanced at Press Juicery. Um, it's about 900 to 1100 calories that you're taking in a day, which is a complete deficit. I think my resting metabolic rate, the amount of calories I burn normally, is between like 1800 and 2200. I'm not sure what it is now. My I did experience some muscle loss, some tone loss. Now that I'm going back to the gym, it's been 2.5 weeks since I've been back to the gym. I used to do CrossFit before, and I just love doing Olympic weightlifting, and I started doing that, and immediately just felt a lot weaker, in a sense. But that's hard to say because the so I was gonna say, okay, so now that I've got the fasting, the braces, and the gastro, let me talk about the weight loss. The weight loss was something that was on my mind because I knew a lot of things were happening. When I gained weight, I noticed my snoring and my sleep patterns were completely off. I would snore so loud I'd wake myself up. Um, Short history, about 8 months ago, I was in a motorcycle accident. I broke my hand. That's what these gnarly scars are for. So I got a bunch of wires and plates and screws in here. I had pins coming out of my fingers. I broke my hip, and that was weird. I wasn't able to walk stable for a while. And massive soft tissue damage to my knee. My knee was just smashed, and ripped my hamstring and tore my meniscus. So I couldn't walk for the first month. The thing is, after the accident, I still had hunger. I was still hungry, so I still had an appetite, but I wasn't working. I was basically almost bedridden for about a month before I could start walking. Took about 5 months, 6 months maybe, before I could start at a light jog. And with that said, with that 5 6 months and just having appetite that I always had, I'm talking about like pork belly and polenta and just double cheeseburgers. Everything I was doing. I ended up gaining about 30 pounds, 30 something pounds, 35 pounds, and became the heaviest I've ever been. I tipped the scales, I think, at 208 or 206, something around there. I've never been 205, never been over 200 in my life, and And then I slipped into a bit of a depression, not being able to walk, not being able to work, and then gaining weight, and then just growing further from God. Like, I just felt useless in a certain sense. So, but after experiencing all that, I don't know what happened. Something changed. I think, I mean, I guess one of the things that nudged me was all those things that kind of happened concurrently was the fasting. I didn't do it during Easter, and there was a part of me that missed it. And every time I do fast, I learn something. Um, so I think that, and then the braces, and then also just having the terrible experiences with my gastrointestinal problems, nudged me into doing the 3 day juice cleanse that just went on for 45 days. Um, Anyhow, if you guys have any questions, just comment in the comment below. I think I'm gonna post some pictures on some Instagram of where I was after the accident, and then post some more pictures of, I guess, where I am now. I don't know. I hope sometime, I don't know. I just hope this information just reaches people, and gives some information. Like I said, I don't know everything. I just know what I've been through. So I just want to share that with you guys. So cool. Thanks. Peace.